You know how you're worried about meeting deadlines and you can't find the stuff you need to do the work you need, and you're not really sure what to work on next, and you're winging it most of the day?
Mhm.
You don't have to do that anymore. It can
Yes.
be much more simple than that. You just do your thing, you do it well, at a pace that makes sense for you, and you eliminate all the crazy should do's from the equation.
Uh, mhm.
Here we go. Recording now.
Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I'm your host Atul Raj from the bestemailmarketer.com, and today we have Miriam Ortiz Y Pino with us. Did I pronounce your name right?
Well, it's Ortiz Y Pino, but close enough.
Okay, it was close enough. 90%, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so for our listeners who don't know you, can you tell them who you are and what do you do?
Yeah. I am a certified professional organizer, simplicity expert, and money breakthrough business coach. And I help my clients connect the dots between organization, productivity, and money mindset so they can live their best life and do their best work.
Okay, for someone whose business is a chaos, okay,
Yeah.
and someone whose business is simple. So tell me, like, what is the difference? How's their life looks like?
Well, you know how you're worried about meeting deadlines and you can't find the stuff you need to do the work you need, and you're not really sure what to work on next, and you're winging it most of the day?
Mhm.
You don't have to do that anymore. It can
Yes.
be much more simple than that. You just do your thing, you do it well, at a pace that makes sense for you, and you eliminate all the crazy should do's from the equation.
Yep. Just listen to Miriam.
I know it sounds really simple, but it's not
Yep.
quite easy. Yeah.
Okay. So, can you tell us about your journey into professional organizing and
Mhm.
what inspired you to become a simplicity expert?
Yeah. So that part I made up, the simplicity expert.
I think it sounds good. You can keep that.
Um, in terms of organizing, I was the kid that always wanted to make things better and easier for people. And I could see where people were overcomplicating things. Like it's just one
Mhm.
of those things I notice. So
Yeah.
every classroom, every family gathering, every job I ever had, I noticed all the things that weren't working efficiently and I would fix them. So then I went to work for other people after college, and it was like, I don't like this. I'm not in charge. They won't let me fix it anymore. And so I looked at what I was great at, and it turns out to be the organization and the creating of systems and the understanding how things work together. So I started
Mhm.
my own business, and now I do that full time. And
And
for the
you're
last
having fun.
25 years, yeah,
Hmm.
it's been an interesting journey too, because I thought it would be just organizing. And then it became, oh, well, they also have an issue with time management. And
Mhm.
oh, and if I help them with the money mindset, because the way they thought about their things
Mhm.
usually involve money. Like, I
Yeah.
can't get rid of it. I paid good money for it. Or,
Mhm.
but I have a bunch of these. I need to use them up. Or, well, it was on sale.
Mhm.
So I bought 12. And all those things lead to clutter, which leads to complication and more things for your brain to think about. And if we just start connecting the dots, all of it gets easier.
Okay. Okay. You just remind me of something
Yeah.
because here's what I've done. Okay, so I write email. Okay, and I write a lot.
Yeah.
So before it was like this. I just handwrite it on a paper. Then my
Hmm.
assistant type that on on the laptop, and
Yeah.
then we send email. So it was a lengthy process. Then I get a book. It's called Rocket Book, and it was like when we write it and when we take a scan the Rocket Book, it will just convert into text. So it
Yes.
was effective. Then, then for
That
some
helps.
reason, I was like, it's it's still taking effort. Scanning is effort. So why don't I just write it on a tablet? Then I
Yeah.
do that, and I was like, okay, it is not working out. Before it was better.
It's saves you at least one step, if not six.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have recently discovered Whisper
Mhm,
Flow, which is a talk to text, but it works across platforms. So it doesn't matter what you're trying to type into, it does
mhm.
it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I was reading question. Okay. Okay. So, how does your background in entrepreneurship influence your approach to organizing and coaching?
Oh, because so along the way, I realized most of my clients were small business owners
Mhm,
or some sort of artist, creative types. So they made jewelry, they painted, they were writers. And I started noticing the overlap between the creative process and the entrepreneurial process. In
mhm,
terms of you have an idea, you need to execute, you have to decide when you're done, you have to use your resources. All those things were very similar.
mhm,
And so I started just, reading more and listening more to podcasts and things about the creative process and the entrepreneurial journey. And I realized it's not different. It's exactly the same thing. We all have to go through it no matter what we're creating, whether it's
mhm,
business and money generating activities or if it's, making a quilt or something. It's all the same steps that you have to put in place, the same kind of systems.
mhm. Okay. So, in your experience, what are the most common challenges people face when trying to get organized?
Well, overcoming possession bias.
Yeah, I also feel the same way.
Our brains think, well, I own it. I might as well keep it. And really, most of the stuff in our lives, I'm talking like 85% of the things we own are in our way. They are just things we have to dust, we have to take care of, we have to change out the filters on, we have to repurchase regularly. They pile up in the corners and in the drawers and the cabinets, and we don't need them. I mean, everything from Post-it pads to pens to kitchen gadgets to clothes and shoes. We just don't need as much stuff as we think we do. And once we have it, it's hard to get rid of it. So it piles up. I don't
Oh,
know how it is where you live, but in America, we have this thing where people buy new sheets for their bed regularly and they don't get rid of the old ones or they don't rotate out the old ones. They just put them in the linen closet for emergencies. I'm like, I'm not really clear what this sleep emergency is. Like, is a tour bus going to pull up outside and suddenly you got to like allow 20 people to sleep on your floor? What, what is this
uh,
sheet emergency? But it's that's the kind of thing that happens. We forget that the new thing can replace the old thing.
yeah, exactly. I think when you buy new things, the main purpose should be, replace the old thing.
Yeah, or to find something that works better or
Yeah,
is
yeah.
prettier or more comfortable to use and
Hmm,
not hold on to the thing that it's replacing. It's more
hmm.
of an upgrade than just own more.
Okay, so how would you describe your core philosophy or approach to helping clients become more organized?
Mhm. Um, I would say it's helping them realize the connections
Mhm,
and how I connect the behaviors, their thoughts, their behaviors, and their results.
mhm,
So if you are really stressed out all the time because you are always busy and you're always running from one thing to the next, maybe you're trying to do too many things. What is something we can let go of entirely? If it is, um, I'm holding on to all these things just in case, maybe there's a scarcity mindset there that we need to address, in addition to the possession bias
mhm,
aspect. And maybe that mindset also connects to the fact that you think you have to work all the time to make money because money might be fleeting in your opinion. And you might then need to change the way you do business so that you allow more flow in without the scarcity thing. So it's I just look for the place I can get in there and pry open all the things that will cascade and
Mhm.
find their core belief that's causing the big bottleneck. And that comes through actually looking at the stuff. When I hear people talk about their stuff, I can figure out what the situation really is.
Okay, can you share a story of a client who experienced a breakthrough as a result of your organizing system?
Yeah. So there's so many. Which one do I want to use?
Your favorite?
I have a client that is she's a high level executive director of a big nonprofit and
Mhm.
business incubator here in New Mexico, and she also is an artist, and she loves to read, and she loves history, and she just has all these things in her house that
Mhm.
were taking up space. And
Mhm.
she wasn't getting to any of her art anymore, and all of her business stuff was stacks and stacks of ideas to implement
Yeah.
that she never did, and she wouldn't let me
Yes.
touch them, and it was like, "No, just put them aside, we'll look through those later, we need to organize this part first." And it took a while, like
Mhm.
many sessions. I mean, we were working hard and actually going through things, but it took a
Mhm.
long time for her to get to the point where one day she noticed there was more room for her to do the work she needed to do, and it was easier.
Mhm.
And she texted me and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I just cooked a dinner for my whole friend group." And then we had it was several members of her board. And so they had a bit of a
Mhm.
meeting and she knew where the stuff was. And she was like, "I can't remember the last time I knew where everything was and I didn't have to hunt around for stuff." And so then she got really excited. Like she
Mhm.
noticed. But sometimes in the beginning, there's a volume that has to be overcome before the
Mhm.
big aha of it settles in. But yeah, we've now done a whole second round on her stuff and she's finally ready to let go. Like we get to the notebooks now of all the
Mhm.
ideas and she just kind of glances and goes, "Oh yeah, I don't need any of this. I know this part already." Or "We already implemented that." I mean, that's what happens, right? We save something and we end up implementing it without remembering
Mhm.
that we had notes about it.
Okay, and can you talk about like who do you help exactly, and in what areas do you help?
Yeah. So most of my clients are small business owners,
Mhm.
um, or artists of some sort, solopreneurs, a lot of them. And most of them are looking for some sort of freedom, you know,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
work less and have a more satisfying life. Um, Often it involves both their house and their work
Mhm.
because most of them work out of their house.
Yeah.
And if the house is a mess, you're like, "I gotta go do my laundry. I gotta go clean the kitchen. I gotta go," like, you're distracted all the time. So, we have to take care of both
Yeah.
for it to be successful.
Mhm.
Occasionally I do, like, facilitations and workshops for bigger companies, with their employees, but it tends to be like a one team of people, and it's usually more
Mhm.
productivity
Mhm.
focused. So the stuff is only in terms of what affects their productivity in their cubicle or their smaller office. It's not as fun.
Okay, so what are some common money blocks or beliefs you see with your clients, and how do you help them overcome those?
Yeah. So we already talked about the scarcity part.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people just are a little bit afraid that they won't be able to replace something
Mhm.
or enough money won't come back for them to replace the thing when they need it.
Yeah.
But they don't always realize that they don't need it at all. They will not have to replace it. So the scarcity thing, and then there is the I can't do it until this happens. So they
Mhm.
hold themselves back in terms of implementing things
Mhm.
because they think it needs to line up with the amount of money in their bank account
Yeah.
already. And they don't realize that an investment means you pay first and then the money comes.
Mhm.
And not everything is a great investment. Sometimes you do need to wait till there's a certain amount of money. So we just align those things with how they process information about money. So
Mhm.
the same money mindset doesn't work for everyone because it has so much to do with how we process information. So if you're the kind of person that's all about ideas and money doesn't matter that much, you have a little more risk tolerance to doing things ahead of time and knowing the money will show up.
Okay.
If you are the kind
Uh-huh.
of person that's afraid of not having money, you need to have a little bit more of a cushion to be comfortable doing the thing, or you'll do the thing with a bunch of doubt and then it won't work as well. So it's
Mhm.
about aligning the actions with who you are and how you process about money.
Okay. So, what are some of your own non-negotiable habits or routine that support your productivity and creativity?
Yeah. I have a scalable morning routine. So the non negotiable of it is I drink coffee and I meditate.
That's
um,
good.
I have a little bit of ADHD and that helps tremendously.
Yes,
Um,
coffee.
I also try to journal and exercise. So,
Huh.
um,
Like, I'm curious, like, how can people able to do journal every single day?
well, you get a book and you put it down next to your coffee cup
Hmm.
and you
That, that's
write
a
it,
really good idea.
sip your coffee. I don't it's practice. It's just practice.
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
if you struggle with it because it's you don't know what to write about, you can get there's all kinds of prompts out there that will help get you started. But it turns out that actually
Uh-huh.
the act of writing. So I was
Mhm.
glad when you said you used to handwrite your articles
Yeah.
and then now you use a Rocket book.
Yeah.
So or your emails.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
The act of writing allows your brain to process information through all of your senses. Did
Mhm.
you know this? When you type,
Uh-huh.
you're kind of feeling and seeing,
Mhm.
maybe hearing. But when you write, you can often smell ink, you can smell friction, you can feel the
Yes. Yes.
softness of the paper or
Yeah.
the hardness or the slickness. You're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're feeling it, and you might even be smelling and tasting it. And so your brain processes it differently,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Huh. And you know
I think
what? Writing is
everyone
much
can
more
pull
fun.
up. Yeah. I mean, when you're using it, you might have lost a little bit of the taste when you switch to the Rocket Book, but
Yes. Yes.
there may be a smell associated with the plastic. I don't know. But yeah, I find that really interesting. So that's one of the reasons, like I said, with that client that used to write
Mhm.
down ideas, and then we started looking, and she had done a bunch of it already. It's because her brain retained it better than if you
Mhm.
speak it into the phone or you type it into your phone or you
Mhm.
use an electronic system. You're just not. Your brain isn't processing it at the right speed and with the number of inputs to
Mhm.
make it stick. So you're much more likely to lose it because it's in there and you think it's
Mhm.
safe, but you forget that it even is in there.
Okay, so if you could offer just one organizational tip that would make the biggest difference for our listeners, then what would it be?
Um, I would say start practicing discernment. And by that I mean what is essential for your life
Mhm.
versus what is nice to have versus what's in my way. I think a lot of people don't know how to make decisions very well. They haven't thought about what enhances their life versus what's in their way. So,
Mhm.
understanding that difference between needs and wants. I keep watching these Instagram and TikTok videos and things, and people are talking about, I need this. It's like, no, you don't. No one needs that thing. It seems fun and entertaining and it's pretty, or
Mhm.
it might make you feel more sexy, fabulous, cool, whatever, but
Dope man.
not for very long.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to dust it later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so for our listeners who want to get help from you, want to connect with you, where can they go?
The best place is my website,
Mhm.
morethanorganized.net.
Mhm.
It has all the links to my other places. I've got a YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, but the website is where my best stuff is. My best blogs and videos end up there.
Hmm. And I can see that you read books, okay, right?
I do.
Which one is your favorite?
I used to read a lot more before I became an entrepreneur, and then it kind of sucked away some of that time, but I still read at least 3 books a month.
Oh, 3 books a month. Okay. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So what's your favorite till
My
now?
favorite?
Okay. Tell two favorite.
Oh, I don't really have ones. Um, I I have genres I like, but I read so many I can't always distinguish which ones were great. The ones that have lasted for me,
Uh-huh.
um, The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley. It's an old sci-fi fantasy book.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I don't know. I just recently listened to Dave Grohl's memoir. It was really good. Dave Grohl from
Okay.
the Foo Fighters.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
it
Is
was
there any
really nice.
book? Is there any book that has some impact on your work?
Uh, yeah, all books have impact on my work because all things are connected. But
Yeah.
business book, I don't know. Here's what I found when I was reading business books. After
What?
you read 20, you realize they're all saying the exact same thing
Oh
through a different
yes.
lens.
Yes.
So I kind of stopped reading them a while back. However,
Uh-huh.
I kind of pick what I need to add to my own business next, and I'll
Uh-huh.
read a couple books about that topic. But in terms of general business and structure and that kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
not so much. I
Okay.
would say probably the biggest impact though was
Uh-huh.
Michael Hyatt's books, uh, Free to Focus and Best Year Ever. I couldn't remember what it was called. Um, yeah, that kind of changed the way I looked at productivity a bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
No, just thanks. I appreciate you having me on and sharing my crazy thoughts. Hopefully, someone finds them helpful.
Okay, Miriam, thank you so much for sharing
Thank,
your thoughts with us. And thank you for joining.
thank you.